Some countries sell balance, but they charge you quietly. Work-life balance sounds simple. Work, life. But in reality, balance is cultural. Some countries protect your time, others only pretend to. This ranking looks at countries by real work-life balance. Not slogans, not policies alone, but lived pressure. Let's begin. Number 10. Australia. Australia sells an image of balance that feels almost universal. Beaches, sunlight, space, a culture that appears unbothered by urgency. From the outside, it looks like a country that figured things out early. Work ends, life begins, the tension dissolves. But burnout in Australia doesn't come from intensity. It comes from distance. Geographical distance first. Cities are spread wide, commutes are long, not because of congestion alone, but because of sheer scale. Hours disappear quietly in transit. Not dramatically, not painfully, just steadily. Over time, those hours accumulate into something heavier than stress: erosion. Australia ranks low on visible burnout, but higher than expected on quiet depletion. Number 9. Canada. Canada is polite exhaustion. From the outside, Canada appears balanced, reasonable hours, progressive values, a reputation for care. But burnout in Canada isn't caused by chaos or intensity. It's caused by restraint. People here endure. Work-life balance policies exist, but pressure remains implicit. You don't want to be seen as ungrateful, or dramatic, or incapable. So you continue. Even when rest would be the healthier choice. Burnout here feels lonely because it's invisible. There's no shared language for it, no public release. Everyone is quietly managing their own limits, unsure if they're allowed to admit they've reached them. Canada doesn't demand productivity aggressively. It simply assumes endurance. And endurance, over time, becomes exhaustion. Number 8. United Kingdom. The UK has normalized exhaustion. Long hours are not exceptional. They're expected. The culture values persistence, getting on with it, pushing through. Rest is treated as something you earn, not something you need. Financial pressure remains constant. Even stable jobs feel precarious. Rising costs collide with stagnant wages, creating a sense that effort never quite catches up to reality. Burnout here isn't emotional collapse. It's fatigue that becomes identity. Time off exists, but mental detachment doesn't. Emails follow people. Deadlines linger. Work intrudes into evenings not through force, but through habit. In the UK, burnout isn't shocking. It's routine. Number 7. Germany. Germany values efficiency, precision, structure. On paper, this creates balance. In practice, it creates rigidity. Work-life balance laws are strong, but cultural expectations remain intense. Performance matters, reliability matters. Emotional distance is often mistaken for professionalism. Burnout here doesn't come from chaos, it comes from pressure to function perfectly. Rest exists, but spontaneity doesn't. Life becomes scheduled, optimized, measured. Even leisure can feel productive. Burnout in Germany feels mechanical. You're not overwhelmed emotionally. You're worn down structurally by systems that never pause, even when they technically allow you to. Number 6. South Korea. South Korea's burnout is openly acknowledged, yet deeply entrenched. Work hours remain long. Social expectations reinforce sacrifice. Rest is viewed as delay. Productivity is moralized. Competition begins early and never fully stops. Academic pressure becomes career pressure, which becomes social pressure. Life feels like a continuous evaluation. Even outside work, comparison persists. Status, progress, achievement, visibility. There's little space to simply exist without measurement. Burnout here is normalized, expected, almost respected. People don't ask if you're tired. They ask how much you can endure. Number 5, United States. The United States ties identity to productivity. Work-life balance exists in theory, but not culturally. Rest feels suspicious. Hustle is praised. Exhaustion is proof of effort. Healthcare insecurity amplifies stress. Time off feels risky. Financial anxiety lingers even in stable careers. Technology ensures work never ends. You're reachable, measurable, replaceable. Burnout here feels personal, like failure, not consequence, which makes it harder to admit and harder to escape. Number 4, Japan. Japan is often admired for its order, efficiency, politeness, dedication. But burnout in Japan is not caused by chaos. It is caused by obligation. Work-life balance in Japan is not defined by contracts or policies. It's defined by social expectation. What is written matters far less than what is implied. Overtime may not be mandatory, but leaving early feels wrong. Taking rest may be allowed, but choosing it feels disloyal. Rest exists in theory, but recovery rarely does. Time off doesn't mean disengagement. The mind remains tethered to responsibility, to expectation, to duty. This is why Japan ranks so high. Japan's burnout is disciplined, orderly, controlled. Before the top 3, something changes. These countries don't look unbalanced, they look successful, which is exactly why the burnout lasts longer. Number 3, France. France is often presented as the counterexample. Shorter work weeks, protected vacations, a culture that values life beyond labor. On paper, France looks balanced, but burnout doesn't live on paper. It lives in daily experience. In France, exhaustion is not driven by overwork. It's driven by friction. Work-life balance exists structurally, but psychologically it's fragile. Time off is protected, yet anxiety persists. Because rest doesn't eliminate uncertainty, it just delays it. Economic pressure weighs heavily. Jobs are stable, but upward mobility is limited. Many people feel stuck, not overworked, but stalled. Effort doesn't always translate into opportunity. Burnout here feels like stagnation. Number 2, the Netherlands. The Netherlands is often praised as the gold standard. Flexible schedules, shorter work weeks, progressive values. Balance here looks intentional, but burnout in the Netherlands is subtle. And subtle burnout is dangerous. Life is highly optimized. Work systems are efficient. Social systems are clean. Expectations are clear. On the surface, everything appears manageable. People are encouraged to self-regulate, to plan rest, to optimize life the same way they optimize work. Even well-being becomes something to manage. If you're burned out, the question isn't, what's wrong with the system? It's, what should you adjust? Which is why it ranks so high. Because when burnout hides behind success, it lasts longer. And number 1, Sweden. Sweden is trusted. It represents calm, equality, balance. Few countries are admired more for how they treat work and life, which is exactly why its burnout is so misunderstood. In Sweden, pressure is rarely external, it's internal. Work-life balance exists structurally. Hours are reasonable, time off is respected, flexibility is encouraged. On the surface, everything is aligned correctly. But beneath that calm is isolation. Burnout here feels peaceful, quiet, contained, which makes it harder to recognize. This is why Sweden ranks number 1, not because people are overworked, but because they are expected to be okay, silently. And when burnout is calm, rational, and invisible, it lasts the longest. Balance isn't measured in hours, it's measured in pressure. Some countries manage time well, others manage expectation. Very few manage the human cost underneath it all. This wasn't about who works the least. It was about who recovers the most. This was countries ranked by work-life balance. And this is the uncomfortable rankings.